premium business architect is the creator of designing your own economy. He helps growth driven professionals, coaches, and consultants monetize their mastery, own their economy, and thrive in any market. I'm sure if you're in the city of Calabar or even outside Calabar, you already know who I am talking about. None other than Mr. Julius Afwalabi. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, the speaking Nightingale. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to listen to you. Today we just know that fire is going to rain. We're going to have it hot, 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 hot. So ensure that you bring out your writing materials or your device, because trust me, he is sure going to do what he knows how to do best, and that is to help you just finally activate whatever it is has been hiding somewhere. What are the T's that you need to cross, the I's you need to dot? He's going to help you do that today. And so let's get right into our conversation for today. 2025 has been quite a great year for some people, not very great for others. Generally evaluating the year, sir, what would you say in your words? What are your perspectives about 2025?
Well, 2025 has been a year of a little shaking. We've seen the height of uncertainty in the economy. We've seen the speedy rise of prices in terms of inflation. And we've also seen bites of insecurity. And most importantly, we've seen inflation has been the highest gear for the year 2025. Most people have experienced higher cost of living with no significant increase in their earning, except they have learned one or two things that could multiply their earnings. And then the standard of living is also being threatened. So we've seen all of that. So evaluating 2025 is, when you're evaluating, you're just looking backward in order to be able to take appropriate steps in the now for a better future. So I'll say that it's a year of cautionary optimism, kind of, yes. So you have to look at it with caution so that you know how to step and then balance very well.
Thank you very much, sir. Remember, I said that he is going to drop fire today, so get ready for more. A year of cautionary optimism, and that's why we are talking about what we had to do in order to wrap up 2025, such that we do not lose out on perhaps the goodies that could be coming in the next few weeks. So this question is, how do we then wrap up 2025 in such a way that it becomes a springboard for the new year? So yes, we're leaving the old year, we're getting into the new year in a few weeks, but then what do we do? How do we wrap it up in such a way that we still have more gains? Like you said, we should still be optimistic, right?
Yeah.
Even though there have been uncertainties, all of that has happened all through the year. But then we are still optimistic. So what should we be optimistic about? How do we step out and then step in? Yes, sir.
Good. I would say that for me, it's proactive, developing a proactive possibility plan. Yes. When I say proactive possibility plan, in the sense that you are proactive by looking at the future, thinking from the future, and not sulking in the past, right? For some people, the last quarter of the year could be a time of celebration for early achievers, and could be a time of commencement for late achievers. So how do you maximize the last quarter in order to be able to start up very well in the years ahead, not just the next year? Now, why I said is cautionary optimism is that whenever there's a challenge or uncertainty, of course it comes with opportunities. Wherever there is problem, there is money. Wherever there is problem, there is promotion. Wherever there is problem, there is profit. Wherever there is problem, there is progress. So that's why I said cautionary optimism. And how you navigate that or take advantage of that is to sit back and look at, understand yourself. There is need for adjustment when there are in changing times. You don't have to remain the same because you can't solve problems at the level at which you meet them. So it's about understanding what the problem is currently and how to become a solution to that particular problem. That is on the one side. And then number two is operational efficiency. If you're doing business or you're in a career, it's time for you to do a self-audit and look at the environmental audit. You do personal audit, you do environmental audit or market audit, and then you position as a solution, right? And that will take you to consolidate on what has worked. In the year, it's not everything that failed. Some things actually worked very well. So you find out what aspect of you is it that worked well in the year so that you can do it more of that, right? Adaptively. More of that adaptively. That is checking the environment, how suitable what you're doing well is to the reality of the current environment. And then number two is to build sustainable high value connections. Very important. Building high value connections is so strategic to what will happen in the future and how to correct what happened in the past. That is, if you're in business, it's time for you to understand what your customer needs before they need them, so that you can position to provide such services for them. And also to understand the environment in which you are working or selling or doing business. And also to take advantage of what? Technology. Technology is a leverage. Yes, so one thing is that you have to understand that leverage is superior to labor. It's not just about working more, doing more, but rather concentrating on the small that is profitable. Smart profitability is what you have to think of. So like I say most of the time humorously, January is not for planning. So this is the time that you have to sit back to look at how you have navigated 2025 till date and harvest what worked and looked at what did not work but worked on you. Some things will not work, but they work on you, right? And look at what is it that I have to keep, what do I have to kill, what do I have to create, right? So this is how we can take advantage of what has happened, right? I believe that the past, there's gold in the past. If we will sit down to refine what happened, harvest the lessons, and position those lessons as raw materials for the future. So the year 2026 already, the economy in Nigeria, we have been told that come January, the new tax policy is going to take full effect. So this is the time for you to understand the nitty-gritty of the tax policy as it affects your business, as it affects your income as a career person, to know how that income is going to be sustained. What other part do these tax affect that are in line with your cost, your basic cost, your luxuries? What are the things that will be luxury, and how are they going to affect your cost of living, your standard of living, and whatever your outcome or your targets are? So when you factor in all those possibilities, that's why knowledge is very important. So we need to understand how that is going to affect what part of the market, the economy is going to thrive. My own business, my own career, my own skills, will I become obsolete in 2026 because of this tax policy? Will my income become obsolete for my standard of living? Do I have to edit my lifestyle in order to do that? That's what I call the proactive possibility plan. So those are the things that you need to take into consideration if you have to make the best of what has happened and position for what will happen.
What did I tell you at the beginning of the show? That it's going to rain fire, and I hope that you are taking up something from here. Are you already developing your proactive possibility plan? It's important that you sit down and run a thorough analysis of your year. He said critical things, their statements, punchy statements that he's made this morning that you need to hold on to and run with that even before January. Don't say I'm waiting till January, New Year. No. This is the time. Like he said, it is not everything that failed. It is not everything that failed. There is gold in the past. I cannot even let go of that one. There is gold in the past. The experiences that you've had, how are you going to glean from them and take hold of the lessons and then drive with them into the new year so you do not make the same mistakes again? Awesome. All right, I know, sir, you have already gone ahead to answer the next question that I was going to ask, and that is, what should we do less? What should we do more? What actions should we take? So are there other ideas or concepts or insights that you have to add to that? What should we do less? What should we do more? You've told us that this is the time for us to sit down and analyze the new tax regime that is coming up next year. It's not when it comes and then we begin to run helter-skelter. No, this is the time to understand the entire process, is how it's going to affect your finances, how it's going to affect your business, how it's going to affect your family. So, sir, do you still have more points to share with us as to what should we do more? What should we do less? What should we pay attention to? What should we pay less attention to? Or what actions should we even bother taking as the year 2025 is winding down?
Okay, you should think of going agile, right? When I say going agile, I simply mean that you should think of going with lightweight, but with more intention, right? Think of consistency above intensity, right? Like some people tend to want to do rush. If you're in a race, a relay race, for instance, a lot of energy is required at the end of the race, right? But what many people forget is that the stamina at the end of the race is a stack up, a build up from the beginning of that particular race. So going agile simply means taking less, but focusing more on outcome of it, right? So there's no need to spread yourself too thin. You don't have to do a lot of things. Do little things that matter, right? Be clear about what matters, right? Very, very important. And as much as possible, no matter how toxic or how fearful or how threatening the economy looks, as much as possible, forbid saprophytic thinking. When I say saprophytic thinking, if you're a biology student, you will know that is what it means to be saprophytic, means to be negative, right? Something that is not benefiting you but taking a lot from you. Go away, do less of saprophytic thinking, stop thinking, dwelling on the negative that is not going to move you. As much as possible, quarantine yourself from places that do not honor your dream. Yes, quarantine yourself. If anybody's thoughts or opinion are contrary to what your dream is, you should leave that. Stay in the environment that cultivates, nurtures what you want to achieve. What you want to achieve is very possible, right? So you should do less of that. Screen your relationship. Try to look at the relationships that are adding value to you, and the relationships that are not adding value to you, as much as possible, manage them to the minimal size and expand and amplify the relationship. That look for multipliers, look for mirrors. When I say multipliers, people that multiply you in terms of capacity, skill, and network, right? Networks that will increase your net worth. Very important, right? The places that will amplify what you do. Look for platforms that are relevant to what you're doing, right? Seek to get more of your ideal customers and not just any customer. You can't serve everybody. There is somebody that your genius is tied to their problem, right? You are a solution to somebody's problem, and somebody is a solution to your problem. You have to think of collaboration above competition. Do more of collaboration and less of competition. So, and as much as possible, you have to do away with entitlement thinking too. A lot of people feel entitled. I'm waiting for government to promote you. You're waiting for employer to promote you. You've got to promote yourself. How do you promote yourself? Get skilled, so much that wherever you're functioning becomes too small to accommodate you. So until you are tired with where you are, you can't move to the next level. So there is no comfort in the comfort zone. So you have to also think. So these are some of the things that you should take into consideration. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Perfect the moments that you have. Right? Very, very important. Think of how to get more of what is. Stay in the right circle. Very important. And leverage whatever it is that you have. You won't have everything, but leverage what is accessible and available within your reach. Very important. So these are the things that I think you should do more of and less of. Do less of what does not add value to you. Do more of what amplifies you. Yeah. So.
Excellent. Whoa, I am just scribbling and scribbling. I hope that you're doing the same, because these nuggets, as you go over them again and again, they will make more meaning to you, and you will be able to apply them. It's not just about taking note of them, but being able to apply them for your own growth, for your own development. As we wrap up our conversation this morning, sir, we understand that the people who are not just professionals, but they are entrepreneurs and business owners, and they're listening to us. And as they begin to look at how to evaluate their year, how do you think they can work with their teams effectively? Because at this point, a lot of things do happen. In fact, between December and January, as companies are closing up for the year and then they begin the new year, there's usually this low productivity even at the beginning of the year. So what should they do? Or is there a strategy? Is there something that you can say to business owners so they can apply it, so we can have better results as the new year begins?
Okay, I'll say that they should design their own economy. That's I'm an advocate of designing your own economy. And when I say designing your own economy, I'm saying stop being reactive and become proactive. Right? Being reactive is responding to things when they have already happened. Right? Don't let things happen to you. Make sure you're happening to things. And that's how you design your own economy. How do you stay proactive, whether as a business owner or as an organization, is to stay ahead of time. Right? You've got to be a destination thinker. Right? You've got to start small. Right? Paint a good picture of what you want. That's the destination thinking. That's architecturing what you want to see. Then you've got to break this thing down in chunks that are, edible for the capacity of your team. You've got to build capacity. There's need for resourcefulness so that you can manage what you have. Leadership and management are crucial. Leadership in terms of where are we going to? I would look at it from maybe 5 steps, right? Number 1 is clarity. Be clear about what really matters. What do I really want to achieve? Who exactly are we? Who do we serve? What's our goal, right? Clarity, very important. And then number 2 is about capacity. That is creative problem solving, right? We are in the age of problem seeking and problem fixing. Right? So you think about creative problem solving. What other ways can I solve this particular problem I am solving? That's how to stay ahead of the game, right? So you know that the fight is infinite, right? Because when change is constant, you can remain the same, or you get expired and you are left behind. So it's very important. So the second step is about capacity. Build the required capacity for the destination that you desire. And then step number 3 would be to be courageous, right? That's about creativity, right? Creativity. Like I said, building capacity is about how else can I do what I am doing. Then number 3 I said is what? Creativity. Checking what's the inventory, mastery of your inventory. What do I have? What are my composition? It's one thing to build capacity. It's another thing to know what you have. A lot of people think that they need more, you understand? Meanwhile, it is not what you don't have that is the problem. It's what you have but don't know how to use that is the basic problem. So you've got to think of what exactly, do an analysis, an audit. What exactly do I have? You are clear about what truly matters. Number one, you're building capacity in accordance with your dream, required capacity. You are doing an inventory of yourself, that self-audit, inventory of your mastery. Then number four is the courage. Very important. Courage. Courage talks about the ability to take action, right? Don't wait until everything is perfect. Perfect what you have. And lastly, it's about what? Magnetizing opportunity. You understand? Capturing opportunities. By the time you are clear and you are positioning has to do with the three others that you have done. That's about creativity, capacity, and then your content, right? And then that will determine the kind of, it will position you for the kind of people that you need to work with. Yeah. So
we can't even exhaust the volumes of what Mr. Julius is dishing out this morning, but trust me, he will definitely come again. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show. And is it possible for you to share your contacts? I'm sure that the people who may want to consult you after the show.
Well, you can reach out to me on my social media handles on LinkedIn. Very easy on LinkedIn. You can get me on LinkedIn, and then you can reach out to me also on my mobile.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 080-3262-6555. Start with a good WhatsApp. Message. Right. 080-3262-6555.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show. It's always a delight to listen to you. Thank you again and again.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
And to you out there.